Hello and thank you for joining me today. I'm Chloe and today we will learn how to summarize a story, then understand how we might use that story in a conversation with an English speaker. I'll also give you some time to compose your own answers, which we will use in a conversation. Our lesson today will focus on the origins of the Dragon Boat Festival. In the last lesson, you learned a lot about the festival and why, many years ago, the special day came to be. The story explained what happened in the past, and then the book went on to describe the traditions that have developed from it. But why would a foreign friend be interested in something like this? Why would it be useful to be able to talk about such a thing in English? Well, that is your first task. Like always, we should consider exactly why it's beneficial to be able to talk about Chinese stories in English. Please take 5 minutes to write down as many reasons why a foreign friend might like to hear about the stories and origins of the Dragon Boat Festival. 5 minutes, off you go. Okay, by now you should have a good idea as to why it's beneficial to be able to talk about Chinese stories like that of the Dragon Boat origin. However, I'll give you some ideas of my own to help you. Let's see if you have any of these. Number 1. If a foreign friend comes to visit China, they will want to experience traditions and festivals. You can tell them all about this special day, and hopefully, if the time is right, you could even go to see a dragon boat race. Number 2. Your foreign friend might want to know a little about the traditional food and drink in China. You can inform them all about zongzi and real gao wine and why people specifically eat and drink these at the Dragon Boat Festival. Number 3. People from foreign countries like to know about different entertainment, sports and competitions that occur around the world. The Dragon Boat race would be a good topic of conversation and of interest. Number 4. As always, the story gives us a lot of information about the history of Chinese dynasties, important figures and customs. It's not always easy to access this information unless you could talk to somebody who knows about it firsthand. That is where you and your knowledge are very useful. As we can see, it would be excellent to be able to talk about the story of the Dragon Boat origin, but in the book, it's over 2 pages long. During the conversation, would it be a good idea to read the whole thing to your foreign friend? How do you think they would react? Yes, they would feel very overwhelmed by all of the information you give to them. So, what do we need to do to make sure that they can be given a fact-filled, interesting account of the story during a conversation? Exactly, we need to summarize the tale. However, in the book, this is not a normal story with a beginning, middle and ending. It tells us about the modern-day Dragon Boat Festival activities, and also it informs us of how and why these activities came to be. Therefore, your summary should include a little information about both the historical facts and the modern-day traditions. I will display some questions to help guide you in your summary. You can add extra things if you like, but remember the summary should be short enough to use in a conversation. Take as much time as you need to answer the questions. Once you are finished, you may play the video again. Okay, there are a lot of questions there. I'm going to read for you my summary of the story now. Let's see if yours is a little similar, shall we? The people of ancient Yu were fascinating people. They had shaved heads and tattoos covering their bodies to represent their beliefs that they were the descendants of dragons. On the 5th day of the 5th month each year, the strongest of the tribes would decorate large boats carved from jade and race down the river in order to express respect for their ancestors. Eventually, this event of music and celebration and decoration and respect became an indispensable annual custom known as the Dragon Boat Festival. During the Warring States period, in around 300 BC, a medium power state called Chu had grown near the Jing River. A high-ranking official called Chu Yuan loved his nation and suggested some changes in the government laws and practices. Unfortunately, not everyone agreed with him, and he was exiled by the Chu king soon after. What followed was a series of disasters for Chu Yuan's homeland, including the destruction of the capital city by a rival army and the fleeing of the king of Chu. This was too much for Chu Yuan to bear, and with absolute embarrassment and sorrow, he threw himself into the Miluo River. This was also on the 5th day of the 5th month. The common people of Chu were deeply saddened at the idea that such a good man would end his life and end his days by becoming food for the sea creatures. Consequently, they started to wrap balls of rice with leaves, now called zongzi, and threw them into the river in order to divert the hungry fish. Additionally, a medicine man started to pour real gar wine into the river to befuddle the fish so Chu Yuan can rest in peace. Today, mixing the ancient traditions of the Yu people and the tragic tale of Chu Yuan means the Dragon Boat Festival has become an annual event which embraces Chinese tradition, celebration and history throughout the nation. Was your work similar to this? I know what you're thinking. Wow, that is a long summary, and I agree, but it's just the first step. Now we have shortened all of the information, and there was a lot of information, we can really choose the most important parts to tell our foreign friends. This time, I will display my summary on the screen, and you can decide on which parts you think are the most important to tell your friends about. They should know a little about the history and traditions and also be informed about the modern day festival. Do your best to condense this information into 5 to 6 sentence summaries. It should be something that you can try to memorize for conversations in the future. Take about 10 minutes to do this and read it out aloud a few times. Then you can play the video again. Right, let's see what you have. Brilliant, that looks much shorter. I'm going to read you mine now. Maybe ours are similar. Let me tell you about the Dragon Boat Festival. It is thought to have started with an ancient tribe called the Yu. They worshipped dragons and used to race dragon-shaped boats annually. That tradition continues to this day. Another tradition, eating rice balls wrapped in bamboo leaves, called zongzi, and drinking real gar wine, is said to originate from an official from the kingdom of Chu called Chu Yuan. He warned his king about an invasion from another kingdom called Qin, and then he actually witnessed Qin invading and destroying his hometown. For that reason, he drowned himself in a river. His patriotism and honesty had so endeared him to ordinary people that they threw zongzi and real gar wine into the river, hoping that the fish would become drunk on the wine and eat the zongzi instead of Chu Yuan's body. There you have it, I feel like this summary gives an interesting and factual take on the Dragon Boat Festival, and it encapsulates the reason why certain traditions have developed over time. But what now? What use is this summary to me, I hear you ask? Well, now we are going to use all of this information in a virtual conversation. I'm going to play the part of the foreign tourist in China. I would like you to imagine that we are meeting for the first time around the start of May. I will be travelling around China for 2 weeks. I'm going to show you a series of questions that I might ask. You can take as long as you like to answer these. However, try to use the Dragon Boat Festival summary that you have created today within your answers somewhere. During the conversation, I might not use the questions in exactly the same order, and I might reword them. Please be prepared for that. Once you feel confident to start the conversation, you can play the video. When I think that you might need more time to answer the question, you will see the question on the screen with a white background. At this point, you can pause the video to answer the question with a longer reply. Otherwise, please treat the conversation as a normal one. You might want to rehearse the conversation a few times or even record the conversation for future reference. Okay, here are the questions. Good luck, and I'll see you soon. Okay, are you ready to try the conversation? Remember, I am a foreign tourist in China and I need some advice. Let's go. Oh, hello, how are you? My name is Chloe. What's yours? Nice to meet you. I was wondering if you could help me, please. Well, I'm travelling around China, but I can't use my internet here, and I would like to find some information about places to go and what I can do. Great. Do you like to travel? Why is that? Ah, great. Okay. And which cities have you been to in China? What's your favourite and why? I think that the public transport here is really cheap. In the UK, it's so expensive. But my only problem is trying to buy tickets online because so many things are written in Chinese. Do you find it easy to travel around the country? What is the best way to travel in China and why? I guess a lot of people travel during the public holidays, right? Which is your favourite public holiday and why? That sounds really interesting. What kind of things do you do on this public holiday or this special day? Wow, okay. And this is soon, right? On the 5th of May. Do you think I could go and watch a race near here? Where would be the best place to go? Brilliant! I think I would now like to know a little more about the traditions though. Do you know why people do things like the boat race and why they eat certain foods? That's so interesting. I can't wait to see it now. As a tourist, what else would you recommend I do whilst I'm in China? Thank you so much for all of your help. I'll be taking all of your advice. I've really enjoyed our conversation. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Well done. If you'd like another try, now that you know the questions, you are welcome to redo it. Well, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.